is up, Internet?
Good evening, geeks.
Hello, hello. Good day to you, wherever you may be.
Indeed.
In time.
In space. In the multiverse.
Yeah, sure. My name is Shauna, pronouns she, they.
My name is Joe, pronouns she, they.
And we are Mythic Geekdom. It's good to see you.
Yes, it is.
So happy that you're here. Today we're talking some tabletop role-playing games.
As we are wont to do on a Thursday evening.
That's right. We're here for role play. And we're going to be talking about accents or possibly the lack thereof.
No accent, no problem.
No problem.
No problem.
However, if you are joining us for the first time, to let you know, we're going to be talking tabletop RPGs, which means things like D&D, Pathfinder, Spelljammer, as well as things that aren't a D20 based system. Honey Heist, Kids on Bikes, Kids on Brooms, that sort of thing. We want to hear from you, so write something in the comments and let us know how you're doing, first off. And if you have any questions for us, maybe you're trying to get into tabletop role-playing games, but you don't know where to start, or you're an experienced GM or DM, and you've got something to say or something to ask, go ahead and put it in our comments right now, and we can get to that at the end of the segment.
We like to talk mechanics, we like to talk meta issues, like how to get along with each other at the table, but we specifically love to talk about role play.
Yeah.
Hence the name, Roll+Play.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out. Yeah, and we come from a theatrical background, and we have studied improv and all sorts of things, and you don't need to have studied those things in order to be a successful role player, but we want to use some of those tricks that we have learned there that we think can apply to
got you, fam.
The role play world. And
we got you. We're going to help you out.
Make things easier on yourself.
But first, let's get to some announcements real fast.
Wow. Try again.
But first, we're going to get to some announcements real fast.
Indeed.
And
ladies and gentlemen, grab your pillow.
Yeah,
we have a Redbubble shop. We sell merch.
Boom.
Yeah.
We sell pillows. We sell mugs.
We sell stickers.
Sticky water
the stickers
bottle.
are not on this water bottle. They're on the other water bottle.
We sell water bottles that have our logo on it.
All kinds of stuff, man.
Stickers, whatnot. Go check it out. It's redbubble.com/people/mythicgeekdom. Go see what we got over there. Especially if you're a fan of D&D. There's quite a few geeky stickers over there that I think you might enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
FYI.
If you need something to fill your super cool geeky mug that you can get on our Redbubble shop, we could not recommend higher Geek Grind Coffee.
Yeah.
These guys are spectacular. Not only do they have cold brew coffee for this hotter time of year, but they also have teas, and everything is ethically sourced and with a variety of geeky themes, including tabletop themes.
Yes, they've got literary ones, they've got tabletop, they've got like a Pulp Fiction thing.
Yeah.
There's always some cool stuff over there. Go check them out at geekgrindcoffee.com and use the promo code STAYMYTHIC, all one word, STAYMYTHIC, when you check out to get yourself an awesome Java discount.
An awesome Java discount.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's wrong with that?
You never said Java discount.
It's a Java discount.
I like it. It's cool. And if you need to know how to get to any of these websites, our Redbubble store, Geek Grind Coffee, all of it can be found in our link tree, which is in our bio and in the description for this very video. Check it out.
Cool.
You can also see all of our socials there. Follow us on all the places.
Right? Lastly, if you don't know, we don't just talk tabletop roleplay here at Mythic Geekdom. We also play some video games on Sunday nights. We do some art streams on Monday afternoons. And there's all sorts of fun things going on during this time. Right now, for the video game selection.
We have been working through a playthrough of the classic JRPG Suikoden 2, which is my favorite of all time. I've played it like 25 times ridiculously or something like that. And this is Shauna's first time playing
First time
ever.
playing. It's a lot of fun. And
you can totally check those out live, but if you want to catch up, because we've done like 23 or so episodes now, you can check out our VODs on our YouTube page. They are all in a playlist in order, ready for you to enjoy.
Catch up. Go check it out. It's kind of awesome.
We do voice acting. It's great.
Wow,
You're gonna love it.
You have cut me off 3 times today.
3 times today.
Wow.
I'm so
it's
sorry.
okay. It's okay. I don't think that you've noticed.
Same track minds.
Simpatico.
I apologize
That's okay.
for stealing your thunder.
No. You're good. You're good. I'm glad that you're talking. I just want you to be aware. That's all.
I am happy to be more aware.
You got to help out your neurodivergent friends.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't realize
I have specifically
what
requested.
they're doing. Yeah.
Indeed.
Cool. So today, let's dive into TTRPGs. I'm so excited because this falls on a Thursday for us, and it's right in between 2 of our main D&D game days.
Yes.
And I think it's like perfect.
And between 2 D&D streaming shows that we love to watch.
Exactly. It's like right in the middle of all of this to get us to coast through everything.
Sliding right into our DMs and GMs.
Not like into them. That's like bludgeoning damage. Let's not do that.
In between them with high dexterity.
Sure.
Okay. Let's talk our topic.
So today we're talking about accents. And voices, basically. If you are playing a character, or you're going to be starting to play a character for a campaign, maybe you're doing a one-shot and you're a player, or maybe you are a GM and you got 10,000 NPCs that you got to differentiate between. That's what we're on today. So, a lot of people come up to us and they ask, yo, what's up? How can I do the accent? I can't do the accent thing. What do I do? Because I don't do accents. I'm not a voice actor.
Psst. You don't have to do an accent.
It's true.
There's lots of other stuff you can do.
It's true. So there can be a lot to it, but it doesn't always have to be like that. So we're going to throw you through a process right now, and it's going to help you figure out, and we're not even going to put an accent on this.
If you can do accents, great. Use them.
Yeah.
If you want to learn to do accents, awesome. We're not going to delve deep here into how to do accents specifically. There are far better resources for that on the interwebs. We are going to help you create a character voice without an accent.
Yeah. So this should be helpful to a lot of people. So you're just going to be using your main accent, whatever it is, American, if you know,
where you're from.
You're just going to be using that, but there's so many different ways that you can change your own voice to make it sound more of like a character than anything else. And I think this is really important, especially when it comes to DMs/GMs. And this is my reasoning why. I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit here.
Please, go for it. I'll just sit here and drink my water.
Okay. And it's because it's really important for the players to be able to differentiate between the narrator voice, the DM, the narrator voice, and the NPCs. I think a lot of people have problems, and they're like, they'll say something, and as the GM, and the players are like, did that character say that to me? Or is the DM saying that to me? Or what's going on? And this happens vice versa as well. If a player is saying something, and there's nothing to differentiate between
the player
voice of being like, I don't think this is a good idea, or whatever, and the character voice of, I don't think this is a good idea, it can get very...
Did you say that? Did the character say that?
it can throw off a lot of people, which then like halts everything because everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Wait, are you saying that out loud? Is this a character thing or what? When you don't necessarily have to stop up the pacing of the scene or the game with semantics of who said what. So yeah, I think it's really important. Okay, so let's get into this. First things first, I think...
I'll make this bigger.
Yeah, you good. When I think of a character, first off, I'm thinking, how long are they going to be seen? Meaning, are you playing for a one-shot? Are you playing for a campaign? Is this an NPC that is a guide that's going to be taking them around places and saying a lot of stuff and giving a lot of exposition and lore?
It could be an NPC that you just made up right off the cuff and don't think is going to be important. And
this happens.
The players really like the NPC, and now the NPC is their best friend, and you have to commit to whatever voice that was.
But, or maybe, you know, this is just a blacksmith in some podunk hamlet that is, you know, handing you a spear for some coin, and that's it. It's important to think of that because if you're thinking about continuity, you don't have to, but if you're thinking about continuity, it's gonna have to be a voice that you can maintain for quite some time. I'm going to break this rule later. Understand that. But there you are.
I break it all the time.
I break it all the time. But there you go. So for continuity's sake, if you're going to be doing like a really like husky, raspy voice, and your voice isn't naturally husky or raspy, it's going to be a lot of work on your voice.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, you might want to rethink a little bit. Okay, so that's the first thing I think about. Then I think about the attributes of the character, specifically what character attribute is highest, what ability is highest in their thing.
Okay, so if we're talking D&D,
if we're talking Dungeons and Dragons, are they strength based? Are they dex based? Are they constitution based? Are they intelligence based? Are they wisdom based? Are they charismatic based? And just the top score. That's all you need right now. Okay? Just the top score. Because that's gonna inform you a little bit about the how and the what of later. Okay? So let's say we're building a character and we're building it for a long campaign. Okay? This character is very intelligence based, we'll say.
Okay.
Say they're a wizard.
Sure.
And they are very intelligence based. Now we have a little bit to work with in the back. We're gonna hold on to that information. Okay? And then think of 3 adjectives, 3 words to describe this character. Give me 3 words to describe our wizard.
Okay.
You'll see why this is important in a minute.
Man.
Anything. Go.
Fastidious.
Okay. So,
sorry,
for those that don't, for those that don't know, someone like, fastidious, someone who is very like to
everything must
to
be
the marker.
in its place.
Yes,
you know,
very
keep everything clean,
possibly very organized.
Yeah,
person, and they like things being just so.
On time. Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one word.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with bright. They're always a friendly face. They're a very nice, smiley, friendly person.
Okay.
Bright person.
Okay.
And
let's go with it. Mischievous.
Mischievous. Interesting third one to go with the rest. Okay.
I'm playing around.
Okay, so we're going to take these 3 words and we're going to think about the how of producing what we're saying. So, keeping in our normal accent, no accent required here. This is a bright person, so I think a little bit of higher tone. I can do a little bit of a higher tone perfectly fine. Not going to bother me in a long campaign. I also said like bright, smiley, friendly. They're probably going to be talking through more of a wider mouth shape. So they're going to be talking through a smile all the time instead of talking very long, kind of thing.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
They are fastidious.
Yes.
They are just so. Notice what I just did when I said that. They're just so. Which means I think they probably over-enunciate their consonants. Possibly.
They'd probably also think about everything they wanted to say before they said it.
So not a lot of ums, ands, ers in there. Mischievous. You could get, just in like tone, you could get mischievous by at the end of the word just taking it up a little bit. Like it's a little bit of a question, you know?
Speaking in riddles a bit, perhaps, every now and again.
That's a thought. That's a thought. So now we have a little bit more about this character and how they speak. Nice, bright, higher voice, speaking through a smile, but definitely maintaining all of the consonants and knowing what they're going to say before they say it. I'm already starting to hear
who this character is.
Yeah. That's the how you produce. Now, there's other things. So there's pitch. A pitch and like tone of voice of where they are. If you have a very innocent character, you might want to go with that higher pitch. If you have a more for the more feminine type characters, if you have a sultry character, feminine expressing characters might go into a little bit of a lower register voice. Going with intelligence based here, but if you were going with like charismatic, if you were going with charisma, maybe they're very confident in how they talk. Okay? So that's and then you can put on other things. It's called texture. So then you talk about, is their voice breathy? Is it raspy? Is it growly or gravelly? It's the difference between doing this and doing this.
True.
Texture. Always fun to do. Always fun to just play around with.
One of my favorites is pacing.
That's a how as well.
Pacing, the speed in which the person speaks. And there's 2 different ways to think about pacing. One is if they are speaking consistently and continuously without much of a break between their words. So there's not much thought happening, there's not a lot of pauses, it's kind of flowing continuously like a bit of a running stream, a bit of a ramble, but it's not like it's super fast paced, it's kind of at a steady stream.
Right.
Or you can make it go super fast and then you can't understand what people are saying because they're going a little too fast, and sometimes you ramble together and it's like, whoa! But you know exactly what type of a character that is. Or maybe they got into, I don't know, the special potion and now they're really excitable and, you know, who knows what's going on there. A lot of people are familiar with the Zootopia film and the sloth that speaks very slowly. Not only does he produce his words slowly, but he also pauses between words.
Yep.
So you can produce your words more quickly, but still have some pauses
To think.
between the words. And all those are different qualities of character that we can add to your voice.
Gotta love
Just with pacing.
Gotta love pacing. Great. Yeah, I love that. That's all in the how. How is this being produced in our voice?
Let's dive a little bit deeper into each of these different things. So
Sure.
we dove a little bit thicker into pacing. Let's talk a little bit more about tone. Let's show a couple of different examples. You showed a high pitched one.
So a very like higher, nice high voice. You could even go really high if you wanted to.
Like a certain mouse.
Or you could delve a little lower in your voice. Maybe you talk a little bit down here.
Why not?
Why not?
And all we're altering is tone.
All we're altering
not
is tone.
changing our pacing. We're not changing our texture.
And it's not volume that we're changing either.
We're not getting louder and softer.
Yeah.
Which is another quality.
It is. It's all in where we decide to place the voice.
Now, think about odd pairings. Usually when we think high, we think fast. We think going high and going fast. What if we went low and went really fast? Oh my gosh, what would that do?
Yeah.
What if we went high and slow?
Yeah.
It creates a different type of character in your brain. A different stereotype is conjured in your head. And stereotypes are great
things
places
like that and you go,
start.
Oh, I'm automatically thinking of this character from this video game or book or anime or movie. That's good. That's the stereotype that we're talking about.
It creates an archetype that it's a great place to start to get an idea of what you're looking for. We don't want to stay in stereotypes, especially negative ones. We want to break free from the stereotype and try new things. But taking these familiar archetypes is a great jumping off point, and then switching it up a little bit is super fun.
Super fun. So that's tone.
That's our tone. And texture. Let's talk more about texture.
So texture is how it's being produced within your mouth and in your throat. Whether you're letting out a lot of air and being very breathy with what you're saying. Over breathy. Or not. Things being very raspy. A raspy sort of voice. Or not. That's constricting your throat when you're making that happen. A lot of people think a little bit of the both of them make a good elderly person. Oh, that sounds good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So mixture of those things, and then how it's being produced in your mouth as well.
So if you can play with your texture and your tone and your pacing, we could create an interesting character. So
off of that,
let's do some random stuff here.
Cool.
Pick one, or should we bring dice into this?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Pick a tone.
Okay. Lower tone.
Lower tone. Cool. All right, and I am going to say, pacing. I will say pauses.
Yes.
And not produced too quickly or too slowly.
Okay. I automatically know who I think of in my head who does this.
Okay, now texture.
Let's go with like a little bit of a fry, like a vocal, on some of the words.
Okay. So we are doing lower tone.
Yep.
Bit of a vocal fry. and the words
pauses.
are not produced too quickly or too slowly, but there are pauses.
Pauses.
Okay, so who's going to do this? You or me?
Go ahead.
Me. Okay.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Courtney. I'm really happy to see you today.
Nice. You know who it sounds like to me?
Who?
Barack Obama.
Ah, you're right.
Immediately, 100%. That's where my
like Barack Obama.
It's the I'm telling you a sentence and I stop halfway.
He produces his words a bit more swiftly.
A little
bit more swiftly,
but
and
that's
then
where
he adds a pause.
He stops in and he has that vocal fry and he's a little lower tone, male presenting. So there you are.
Yeah.
So I think of Barack Obama immediately.
Let's do one more that we're playing with just these 3 different elements.
Sure.
Okay, so I am going to pick a tone. I'm going to pick middle range.
Okay.
And you pick pacing.
We're gonna go with not as many pauses, but straight pacing.
Cool.
Not too quick.
Okay, and texture, I'm going to say a very deep and round texture.
Deep and round, but middle. Oh.
Deep and round, but middle.
Oh. All right.
It kind of gives you a Mary Poppins vibe.
A little bit, yes.
It's a little bit
but
of the
it's
Mary
not
Poppins vibe,
it's
but
not an accent.
Without an English accent. We're using our given accents, which are a Western American accent. So it's all those qualities of Mary Poppins without her accent.
Hello, how are you today? I will be your barista for today. What would you like to have?
Check it out. That was pretty fun. I like
it. Awesome. So that's all 3 of those. Let's pause for a second. I want a little bit of water.
Sure. You have some water.
This is important to have.
Yes.
Look at me, geeks. Look at me.
Do I look at them or do I look at you?
No, you look at them.
Okay.
Look at me, geeks. This is important to have.
Hydrate
You can have
yourself.
whatever you want to at the table, but also have this.
If you're going to be talking a lot, you need to stay hydrated. So whatever your beverage of choice is for the evening,
Guess who's talking the most?
Enjoy it responsibly and also hydrate yourself with a lot of water.
Guess who's talking the most? GMs. I'm looking at you.
That was a texture choice. Okay.
Cool. Hail
Back at
hydration.
it. Hail hydration. Okay. I want to talk.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I love talking voices. I love talking characters. It's like it's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things, especially when it comes to watching my friends at the table do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love to see what they bring. And it makes me know exactly where they are with their character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just too fun. Anyway.
So one of the things that you had talked about
Yes.
is how you like to use a character's top stat and 3 adjectives to get an idea of who they are.
Yes.
I think that's a
where
great,
their voices.
Yeah, that will help inform some vocal choices that you may want to make using the texture and the tone and the pacing to help match those adjectives and that top stat.
Sure.
Another thing that we can consider when choosing what kind of these qualities we want for our character voices is their background.
Yes.
In D&D 5e especially, there is a great system that helps you understand your character's background, where they come from, and that will inform a lot of the roleplay choices you may make. It can also help inform the vocal choices as well. Does your character come from a refined background?
Right. Are they noble?
Yeah, they'll have a far more refined, eloquent way of speaking. They might think more often than they speak. They may
Because of
not. They
because
may
of the
want to
social
speak more
aspects.
and faster because they think they're higher class than others. That also
Talk over other people.
goes
or
into
whatever.
their personality.
Yes, yeah.
They may have come from a lower class background, but they're trying to look high class. So they may kind of put on these airs. There's all these different ideas you can play with. They
Sure.
may be a lower class person.
Yeah, look at the background. That's fun
look
too.
Look at their background. Are they well educated?
Are they? Do they come from a soldier or a military background? They're gonna think more like that. I know we talk about these kinds of things a lot, and we mention other actual play streams. Right now, there's an actual play stream called Misfits in Magic. It's on Dimension 20.
So good.
And Lou Wilson is playing a student who is very sports oriented, very athletic.
Black
person.
American football high school student, like 17-year-old.
But like basketball, yes.
Like team sports, the team captain, good guy, always got your back type person.
So background, younger, using a lot of young people type of slang
and
and then also using a lot of sports related things where it doesn't go, where we're talking about other things and still equating it to sports.
And his pacing will be a little bit faster when he's passionate and when he's interested and excited about a certain thing, especially physical activity and sports-oriented stuff. And when he's trying to just help chill out his friends, he'll slow that down and he'll be like the chill, smooth, cool guy.
Yeah.
And so these are pacing choices and qualities that he is doing with his voice based on his character background.
Yeah, cool.
So it's great to think of subculture and culture as well. Is your character a halfling? Do they come from a farming town? Do they come from a small town where everyone knows each other and is in everyone's business and you don't have these barriers up there? It's no filter. Everyone's just talking and asking and listening to each other's business.
Are they coming from a high metropolitan area where people don't know your business and you like it that way? We don't talk about these stuff.
Very few words, to the point, direct, facts only. Is your character a scientist? Are they an artist? So will they be more direct in their speech, more factual in their speech? Are they more
questioning because they have that scientist brain of how does this work? Why does this work? Type of thing.
Flowery language, figurative language, always speaking in metaphor.
Now we're getting into the what you say. So before we were talking about the how you say it.
Qualities of speech like pacing, tone, and texture.
Now it's in the what you say. So
word choices.
Our wizard, our fastidious, mischievous wizard, could say things that you would normally say in a game. I'm hurt. I need help, to a cleric, right? Can be said with all of that same tone, the higher tone, the pacing is together, all of the consonants. But now what word choice, what are they saying to get this? Because you can say, can I get some help, please?
A little help over here?
You can help out!
I require assistance.
Ow, 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 ow.
Help, help, now, 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 help!
All different. All different types of characters just because of the words that we're deciding to use. Someone who thinks about the words and doesn't want to, step on any toes is not going to say, a little help, please? Me? They're not going to say it that way.
I don't mean to disturb you.
A person who has
help, please.
A person who has maybe your lower intelligence score is not going to go, I require some assistance, please. Probably not the words they're gonna use, right? I got an ouch. Help! I got an ouch. Whatever it is, okay? So what sort of word choices would your character make? Let's go back to our wizard here.
Sure.
Our wizard is, you said, fastidious. Mm-hmm. They're going to be saying the words that they say, and using all of the consonants. Perhaps they're using some higher level word choice.
As a learned wizard who's fastidious.
But what if
probably.
the player isn't a higher level wizard?
That goes into one of our recent episodes between character dissonance, when you want your character to be a certain way and you, for some reason, can't feel successful doing that. Right. In some certain circumstances, you can say, I want them to do this. I want them to sound like this. Would my character know these certain things? Absolutely. But when it comes to role-playing and choosing words for your character to say, if you're not sure of the right vocabulary, do the best you can with the vocabulary you do know.
Sure. And
make sure all the other qualities are there. I need some help, please. Sounds just as good as I require assistance.
Yes.
If there are, and I require assistance, I'm not saying that those are the most difficult words. There can be, fastidious is quite a big word. There's a whole bunch of different levels of vocabulary, and if English isn't your first language, that's another thing that you have.
Sure. There's other things as well. Like, you could just have, maybe your character is cautious. Maybe that's one of the words that they use. Or that they want to be understood. Maybe they end things with, do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You got me? Depending on that background that you were talking about. Maybe they ask because they want to make sure they were understood.
Maybe they're a bit patronizing and they end everything with, you understand?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Or they call, think about the what patronizing things could be said. Calling somebody son.
Ooh.
Or
stop it. Stop it right now.
Young lady.
I can't.
That sort of thing. That's a very patronizing tone. Fantastic NPC, I think.
Can't handle.
Fantastic NPC.
When you are using character choices and specifically with vocabulary and manners of speaking, make sure that you have a session 0 ahead of time. Sure. And you've spoken with your DM and the rest of your players to see what everyone's comfort level is. Some people may be very uncomfortable with certain manners of speaking. Like if there's a character that's super patronizing, they may have a negative history with something like that.
Just like slang. Certain slang, there's people that are like, please, I understand that your character might use a lot of like super hip slang because of their background or their age or whatever. Please leave this off the list. I don't like hearing this word or whatever. That's good for a session 0.
Exactly.
Like having those people that one of my favorite like stereotype tropes are people who they're so bright and innocent and friendly, and they shoot, oh darn, and they talk, and then out of nowhere they like slightly swear. Like it gets so serious that they actually swear.
Oh damn it! Oh.
Yeah,
isn't necessarily that big of a swear.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, it's not like a huge swear or anything. It's just one of those. They've come up with like, nuts and bolts or whatever, artificer. Nuts and bolts.
What did I say the other day?
Nuts and butts is what you said. Nuts and butts. But that's their frustration words,
frustration
right?
phrase.
Their frustration catchphrases. And then out of nowhere they go, well, I just don't like their tone. They seem to be a bit of a jerk. God damn it. Oh! You know, that kind of thing makes me laugh so hard. I think it's a cute trope that works for a character that it possibly could be a character that you could play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about the what are they saying?
Yeah.
Also,
Vocabulary choices, slang, etc.
Yeah. Also, like I was just saying, catchphrases are not bad things. Think about their habits. Are they a person who says a lot? Mm-hmm. Like me. Or are they a person who will maybe like, I don't know, like I stutter over my words a little bit because I'm kind of shy about what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, well, cinnamon roll. But starting that out with affirming and then negating and then affirming, I love doing that. I have a character right now that when they are around specific people, they say, yeah, no, yeah, a lot. And I absolutely enjoy it so much because it puts my brain in a, I want you to like me so much that I'm gonna, yes, no, yes, no. Which one is it? So I can be on the same page as you because you're so cool, kind of thing. Or a literal catchphrase, like to infinity and beyond, or for Paylor, or onward, or whatever it is.
Hold the line.
Hey,
that's one of my character's catchphrases.
And it just, naturally happened in game.
Yeah.
It was one of those things, and I was like, that's cool, I like that, I'm gonna keep it.
Exactly. Okay, so we have talked using your character's background, culture, subculture, race, class.
Yes.
To help inform voice choices. We've also talked about using your character's top stat and 3 words to describe them to help inform vocal choices. And some of the vocal choices we've talked about is how we say it, like pacing, tone, and texture. And what we say, vocabulary choices, slang, catchphrases.
Exactly.
Yeah. These are some
now
really
we're
good
getting
stuff.
somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere.
The last thing we can really get into is the nonverbal things.
Yes. So much of what you do as a person isn't necessarily, it is in how you're producing the sound of your voice. It is in the word choices that you make to be understood and to get across what you're saying. But it is also more than this in your body language.
Yes. So much of communication is non-verbal. And so what do you do with your hands? Does your character talk with their hands a lot? Do they not use their hands hardly at all? Are their shoulders high when they speak? Are they shoulders back? They're very strong. Are they kind of slouching a little bit? Kind of leaning back, chin back?
Even going back to what I was saying with our wizard being bright and friendly, I said they talk through a smile. That means that the smile has to be
I would say smile, right? Shoulders up, chest forward, but the chin is kind of down because there's that slight mischievous going on. Yep. Like they're seeing things through another eye.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
Maybe they look up, or they don't like to look at the person that they're having a conversation with. They're very nervous about talking to this specific person, so they don't make eye contact, or they make eye contact, realize it, and go, a lot.
Yeah, do they touch the back of their neck? You know, do they cross their arms? So think about what you can do with your arms, your shoulders, your chin, your
neck. It helps
neck.
get you in a different place.
Absolutely.
If I come into a game and I sit down at the table and I'm hanging out and I'm like, okay, how was your day? You know,
Happy to be here.
I'm so excited.
Great.
We're gonna kill this dungeon delve. It's gonna be great. And then immediately I go back into a character. This is very different from me being like, okay, no, wait. So did you say you wanted a strength check or a strength save? Okay, hold on. I rolled a 17. You can see where the difference is between me, the player, and this character that I'm putting on, to make it clear to the GM, to the other players at the table, who is speaking at the moment.
Yeah. So your body language, the gross motor, neck,
yes,
shoulders, arms, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and then your fine motor, facial features. So, you know, do they have a scowl on their face, or are they eyes are wide all the time, or they're kind of narrow?
Yeah.
Sitting back and kind of judging you.
Now, one of the last things I want to say is I'm going to give you some bad news, and then I'm going to give you some good news, okay? The bad news that nobody wants to hear, but I'm going to say anyway. You got to practice it. You got to do the thing to feel comfortable enough in it to make it happen. Get in your car, you know, talk to yourself while you're driving around. If you feel brave enough, go in that drive-thru and order something like that.
Oh, wow, that's very brave.
That's very brave. I do it all the time. It's fun.
Yep.
You take a bath or a shower or whatever, and just produce the voice. Say whatever it is. I am grabbing the shampoo right now, or whatever it is. I'm finishing up in the shower. I will then go get dressed. I will put on my makeup and go to work.
I like to, whenever I'm listening to an audiobook driving around in the car, when I'm in the car alone, it's my sacred place. I can, you know, experiment and no one's there to judge me. No one can overhear me. Car is the safe place for me. Depending on your situation, you may take the subway or an underground or something of that, wherever you feel safe to practice. I like to listen to an audiobook, and then I will just choose a dialect or an accent or a style of speaking that I want to practice. And I will just, whatever I'm hearing in the audiobook, I will repeat and recite. And with
tone
whatever dialect or voice that I have chosen to practice, not trying to copy what I'm hearing in the audiobook. It's just, I want to practice this right now. So whatever I hear, I'm going to say.
I like it.
Yeah, just because I have a constant, steady stream of stuff I can hear that I can spit right back out. Same thing, you could be reading a book and just practice it in that one voice. You don't have to practice going back and forth between voices. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the bad news. Sorry, you're gonna have to practice it. You'll feel a lot better once you do. You'll feel a lot more comfortable when you are sitting and hanging. Good place to try on a few things. Session 0. Session 0, be like, do I like this kind of voice more? Do I like this kind of voice more? I noticed that when I did this voice, I couldn't hold it for as long as I wanted.
So I think maybe
not
change it up
this
just
one,
a little bit.
or whatever. Here's the good news. You say you do that. You have your session 0. You've decided on a voice, and you know what voice you're gonna do, and it's gonna be awesome. And then you get 12 sessions in, and you go, man, I don't think this is actually what I need, you can change it.
Yep. I'm pretty sure in the campaign that we are now on session 61 or 62 on. 62. I think the first 3 sessions I had some kind of an accent.
You did.
And then I just dropped it. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do an accent.
Don't need to have it. Don't need to.
I just want to have other things like texture and pacing and tone, and I want that to help inform the character and my body language and facial expressions. I don't want to have to mess with an accent, even though I'm fairly good at it.
100%.
I just didn't want to.
Right. I have 2 very specific NPCs that help out the party often. They have very specific tones of voices.
Oh, wow, they do.
And very specific accents.
They
so
do.
If they were even in the same room, and I've had to do it before where I've changed between the 2 characters.
That's so hard.
It is. But you can tell which one it is.
Absolutely.
Even if I didn't have the accent on it, I think you could tell the difference between the 2 characters because
of the tone, the pacing, the vocabulary,
and the word choice and all of it.
Absolutely.
Just to differentiate. It's so helpful, and it makes it so easy to fall back into the character. If you're having a hard time staying in character, maybe this is one of the reasons. You're maybe you're not thinking about a different tone or a different texture to your voice or the word choices that they're using at times, and you're just using your own. It's so much easier to become you, the player, and leave off the role play if you don't have this thing to engage you and kind of hold you in place. Let it be the north on the compass for you to know where to go within roleplay.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Lastly, you can absolutely set yourself reminders. If you are a dungeon master or game master and you have a million NPCs, you can write yourself little notes.
Yep.
This character, their gender, their race, and then you can say, you know, they're raspy, low, and slow. Or whatever. Just a couple of little words that help you remember what the quality of their voice is. Another thing you can do is have if you have a catchphrase, that catchphrase may help remind you what that character voice sounds like and feels like.
Get you back into that voice.
Or even a phrase that helps get you into that manner of speaking that doesn't necessarily have to coincide with your character. It's just a phrase that gets you into that accent or dialect or manner of speaking.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that anybody who does a Mickey Mouse impression, what do they always start with? They always start with that because it pushes you into the tone, the pitch, the texture, all of that right at the very beginning. Having something like that, it doesn't have to be a sound or whatever, but having a phrase or something like that that they normally say that's going to get into that character would help.
Even if it's just like you did earlier, just adjusting my posture. Mm-hmm. And the voice will just come, depending on whatever it is that you set in place.
Just there's a character that I'm dying to play. We weren't able to go play this character, but I know exactly how I get into that voice, and I immediately have to go, okay, you guys, and get like everything forward in my mouth and kind of stuff up everything that I'm saying.
Make it a little more nasal.
Yeah. Yeah. And it puts me in that character immediately.
I love that character.
I love that character too.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh man.
When you are messing around with your character voice, let yourself experiment. Play around.
it's gonna sound
creative. Embrace the silliness. Let it be silly. Let yourself laugh at it. If it sounds silly, laugh at it. It's okay. And then eventually you'll get over what's funny about it, and then it'll start to feel right. Or you'll throw away what you don't like, what isn't sustainable, what doesn't fit, and keep what you do like.
Right. Evolve it. It's perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
To just evolve it and be like, I'm not
patient
gonna
with
do this
yourself. Be gentle with yourself.
100%.
And give it a try.
Let it see if it helps you have more fun.
Yeah,
that's the
a
only
more
thing.
immersive role play experience.
Exactly. If it's becoming too daunting, like what happened with you within the first
if
three
you're no longer having
sessions,
fun, what's the point?
then just take that part out. Maybe you don't need the raspiness of the voice, but you can still
keep the tone and
or
the
the pacing or
and
whatever.
the vocabulary choices. Yeah, you don't have to use all of these elements.
Right.
Pick and choose from them.
Exactly. Gotta love cherry picking, right?
Oh, and when you create your character, that's what you get to do.
I love it.
And with that, I think we've come to the end of our hour.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That was a good talk. I love talking voices. I love talking characters.
Have fun creating your character voices out there, guys.
It's too cool.
And
it's too
remember, if you don't know how to do an accent, it's no problem. There's
don't worry
so
about
many
that.
other ways.
There's
to
so
make
many
a
other
voice.
ways to get into character. We are always here on Thursdays. Man, let me try to get this together.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Need some more of that geek ground coffee?
Right?
Yes.
It's getting to that point. All right. We are always here on Thursdays from 5 to 6 Pacific Standard Time for Roll Play, and answering any questions that you have, talking about tabletop RPGs. Come by on Sunday, 7 to 9 Pacific Standard Time, same geeky channel, and hang out with us, playing some video games. We're playing Suikoden 2, as Joe had said previously. We're doing a playthrough. There's some voice acting. You can see us do this live. We don't practice the voices that are going to come up. I've never played this game, so this is me making it up on the fly. So if you want to see this in practice, come by Sunday, 7 to 9 Pacific Standard Time, this geeky channel.
And you can catch up with all of those episodes of our Let's Play Suikoden 2 with voice acting on our YouTube channel. You can find that link in our bio. Everything is in a playlist, nice and concise for you.
Amazing. Thanks, Joe.
You're so welcome.
And then, of course, come by on Mondays for our art stream. We listen to some chill lo-fi tunes.
By yours truly.
We hang out and we talk creative process with each other. Whatever you want to work on, whether it is a project or cleaning up your house,
just time
or
for yourself,
working on you. That is cool too, and I want you to come hang out here at the Mythic Geekdom and just chill. That is Mondays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Make sure to check out all of our socials on our link tree in our bio and our description. We have lots of cool pictures and videos and all sorts of fun content all over the place. Give it a check out and make sure to follow us all over the Geekdom.
Thanks for all the follows that we've seen recently. We've just gotten quite a few new followers and subscribers. Thanks, geeks. All of that is just music to our hearts.
Yes.
And inspiration to our ears. I think I did that opposite, but that's okay.
Works for me. Gigantic thank you to all of our subscribers, all of our followers, all of our mods, and all of our patrons. You guys are the absolute best. We like to give special gifts to our patrons.
Yes.
Every month with behind the scenes access, special discounts and early access and one of a kind bloopers and songs that can only be accessed by
the
patrons.
Yeah. Cool. And until next time, stay mythic out there, geeks, and roll with advantage. Bye.